A life free from clutter, no endless to-do lists, and no more feeling overwhelmed every single day. That's exactly what I achieved by adopting minimalist habits in 2025. And the best part, anyone can do it. So how can you start living this way in 2026? In today's video, I'm sharing 12 minimalist habits you can start right now to create a life that's less stressful, more organized, and full of energy. Don't miss this video because these habits will help you make 2026 a year of ease and efficiency. So what are you waiting for? Let's dive into each minimalist habit so you can start 2026 with a simpler, happier life right now. All right, we'll go deep into each habit in this video. The first habit I want to talk about is embrace a simple morning routine. In 2025, I realized my mornings were starting out in chaos. I'd wake up, grab my phone, immediately check my emails, and feel overwhelmed before I even got out of bed. It wasn't a great way to begin the day. But in 2025, I started changing that. I decided to keep my mornings simple. No rush, no distractions. I wake up, drink a glass of water, stretch a bit, and take a few moments to just breathe and center myself. This simple routine helps me feel calm, clear, and ready to take on the day. Now, as we're heading into 2026, I can confidently say that this small change has made a huge difference. I feel more focused, less stressed, and my mornings set the tone for a productive day. If you haven't tried this yet, I highly recommend starting it in 2026. It's one of the easiest ways to simplify your life, reduce stress, and just feel more in control. So, as the new year approaches, consider adopting this simple morning routine. Trust me, it's a game changer, and it's something anyone can do. Now, before we move on to habit 2, I want to give you a sneak peek into the next video. I'll be sharing some incredibly simple habits that seem boring at first, but actually have the power to quietly reinvent your life. These small tweaks might surprise you, and they can make a bigger impact than you'd expect. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, let's get back to today's topic. The second habit I want to share with you is minimalist goal setting. This was a game changer for me in 2025, and it's something I'm definitely carrying into 2026. I used to set tons of goals every year, big ones, small ones, long-term ones, short-term ones. It felt exciting at first, but by the end of the year, I realized I wasn't making the kind of progress I had hoped for. In 2025, I decided to simplify my approach. Instead of setting 10 or more goals, I focused on 1 or 2 main goals that really mattered to me. By narrowing my focus, I was able to dedicate more time and energy to those goals, and it made a huge difference. For example, instead of trying to work on everything from fitness to learning a new language, I chose one priority and gave it my full attention. Minimalist goal setting isn't about doing less. It's about doing what truly matters and focusing on that one thing that will make the most impact. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. By simplifying my goals, I was able to break them down into smaller, actionable steps that felt manageable and achievable instead of feeling overwhelmed by a long list. As we move into 2026, I'm keeping this approach. Setting 1 or 2 clear, achievable goals each year helps me stay on track and feel accomplished without the overwhelm. It's a lot easier to stay motivated when you're not juggling too many things. If you've struggled with goal setting in the past, I encourage you to try this minimalist approach in 2026. Start small, focus on what truly matters, and watch how much more you can achieve. The third habit that truly transformed my life in 2025 was focusing on one thing at a time. I used to think I had to be constantly busy multitasking between work, personal projects, and social commitments. But all that really did was spread me thin, leaving me feeling stressed and like I wasn't getting anything done properly. Once I realized that juggling too many tasks wasn't helping, I decided to slow down and focus my energy on just one thing. Whether it was finishing a work project, dedicating time to personal growth, or even just relaxing, I gave it my full attention. This shift in mindset made a world of difference. I became more productive, felt less overwhelmed, and actually completed tasks with more satisfaction. In 2026, I'm continuing this habit. I'm focusing on what truly matters and staying present in each moment instead of running from one thing to the next. If you're someone who's always juggling too much and feeling like nothing's getting done, try embracing this habit. Focus on one thing and you'll see how much easier it is to make real progress. The fourth habit that really helped me in 2025 is what I like to call the minimalist diet. I used to stress over meal planning, constantly trying to create the perfect diet with fancy recipes and countless ingredients. But the more I focused on complicated meals, the more overwhelmed I felt. Trying to make sure everything was healthy and balanced all the time became exhausting. So I decided to simplify. I started focusing on whole natural foods, things like fruits, vegetables, and simple proteins. I didn't need elaborate recipes or exotic ingredients. Instead, I just made sure I was eating real food that nourished my body and kept me feeling good. For example, I swapped processed snacks for fruits or nuts and started cooking simple meals like grilled chicken with veggies or a salad with fresh ingredients. I didn't worry about having a perfect meal every time. Instead, I focused on the basics. This made grocery shopping easier, meal prep faster, and I stopped wasting so much time thinking about food. The beauty of this minimalist diet is that it helped me feel more energized and less bogged down by constant food decisions. I wasn't counting calories or stressing over every ingredient. I just ate what felt right for my body. As we enter 2026, I'm sticking with this simple approach. I've learned that eating well doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a fancy diet plan to feel your best, just focus on real whole foods. If you're tired of overcomplicating meals, try adopting a minimalist diet this year. Keep it simple. Eat real food and feel better in both body and mind. Habit number 5 that really helped me in 2025 was embracing a realistic workout routine. Like many women, I used to think that in order to stay fit, I had to spend hours at the gym, follow intense workout plans, and push myself way beyond what felt comfortable. I'd end up feeling exhausted, frustrated, and honestly not seeing the kind of results I was hoping for. But in 2025, I decided to change that approach. I shifted to a much more realistic workout routine, something that actually fit into my life. Instead of spending hours on complicated exercises, I started working out 2 to 3 times a week, focusing on just 30 to 45-minute sessions. That way, I could get in a good workout without feeling like it was taking over my entire day. I kept it simple strength training with light weights, some yoga and stretching, and maybe a short walk or light cardio. I didn't need fancy equipment or complicated moves, just the basics, but consistently. It was much easier to stick with and actually left me feeling energized rather than drained. For 2026, I'm keeping this routine because it works for me. It's realistic, easy to maintain, and helps me stay fit without the pressure to do more than I can handle. If you've been overwhelmed by trying to keep up with long, intense workouts, I encourage you to try a minimalist approach. Focus on short, effective workouts that fit into your schedule and still keep you feeling your best. Next up, habit number 6 that made a huge difference for me in 2025 is mindful spending. I used to mindlessly buy things often because they were on sale or because I thought I needed them to feel better. It wasn't until I started embracing minimalism that I realized how much of my spending was driven by emotions or societal pressure, not actual need. In 2025, I took a step back and started really thinking about my purchases. Instead of impulse buying, I asked myself, do I really need this? Will this add value to my life? If the answer was no, I simply didn't buy it. This shift didn't mean I was depriving myself, but rather I was being more intentional with my money. For example, instead of buying clothes on impulse because I liked the look or they were trending, I began to focus on buying only what I truly loved and would wear often. I also made sure to invest in quality items that would last longer rather than cheap disposable products. This shift saved me so much money and also made me feel better about my choices because I knew I wasn't wasting anything. As we move into 2026, I'm continuing this habit of mindful spending. It's helped me become more conscious about my purchases and how they align with my values. If you're looking to save money, reduce clutter, and make smarter financial choices, try this habit. Start being more intentional with your spending, and you'll find that it's not about buying less, it's about buying what truly matters. Let's move on to habit 7, and this is one of the most powerful habits I adopted in 2025, was to simplify my wardrobe. I used to think that having a closet full of clothes meant I had options, but the truth is, it just created decision fatigue and a lot of clutter. Every morning I'd stand in front of my closet feeling overwhelmed by too many choices, but still convinced I had nothing to wear. So I decided to make a change. I started by clearing out clothes I hadn't worn in months or didn't feel great in anymore. I focused on building a wardrobe with timeless, versatile pieces that I truly loved and that could easily mix and match. It wasn't about having fewer clothes, it was about having clothes that I genuinely enjoyed wearing and that made me feel confident. Now my mornings are so much easier. I no longer spend time sifting through piles of clothes. Instead, I pick outfits quickly, and every item in my closet serves a purpose. Plus, I realized I wasn't buying clothes just to buy them anymore. I was buying only what I needed or what I truly loved, which has saved me money in the long run. For 2026, simplifying my wardrobe will continue to be a priority. If your closet feels like a constant source of stress, I highly recommend trying this habit. Start by letting go of things that no longer serve you and focus on what really matters. It's a small change that can make your life feel a lot more organized and less cluttered. Next up, habit number 8 that made a huge difference for me in 2025 is tidy as you go. For years, I would wait until the mess piled up before cleaning, thinking I'd tackle it all at once. The result: a house that always felt cluttered and a constant sense of stress hanging over me. But I realized that by tidying as I went along, everything felt so much easier and less overwhelming. Instead of letting dishes pile up in the sink or leaving clothes scattered around the house, I started cleaning up little by little throughout the day. Whether it was putting things back in place after cooking, folding clothes right after laundry, or wiping down counters as I finished using them, I started making tidying a natural part of my routine. This simple habit saved me so much time and energy. It kept my space feeling organized without needing to spend hours doing a deep clean. And honestly, I found that maintaining a tidy home made me feel more at ease and more productive. Heading into 2026, I'm sticking with this habit. It's so much easier to keep things tidy if you make it a habit to clean up as you go. It's not about doing big cleaning sessions. It's about staying on top of the little messes before they add up. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by clutter, try incorporating this habit into your day. Trust me, it makes a huge difference in how your home and your mind feels. Next up is habit 9, keeping empty spaces clear. I used to think every corner of my home had to be filled with something decor, extra furniture, or just random stuff I didn't know where to put. But then I realized it was making my space feel cramped and cluttered. So I decided to leave some areas open. Whether it's an empty corner or a clean countertop, having some clear space actually made my home feel bigger and more peaceful. It's not about having an empty home, just creating room to breathe and feel calm. The key is being intentional about what fills your space instead of just stuffing it with things. This habit made cleaning easier, but it also helped me enjoy the things I've kept instead of feeling overwhelmed by too much stuff. Going into 2026, I'm definitely keeping this habit. It's helped me maintain a more relaxed, organized space. If your home feels crowded or cluttered, try leaving a few spots clear and see how much more peaceful and spacious your place feels. Sometimes less really is more. Let's move on to habit 10, no buy month. This one really made an impact on me in 2025. The idea is simple. spend an entire month without buying anything that isn't essential. At first it sounded a bit extreme, but once I gave it a shot, I was honestly surprised by how freeing it felt. Before doing this, I'd often make small impulse buys, whether it was grabbing a coffee on my way out or buying something because it was on sale. I wasn't really paying attention to where my money was going. The no-buy month made me stop and think about what I actually needed instead of just mindlessly buying things. The rules were pretty simple. I only allowed myself to buy food toiletries and anything that was genuinely necessary. No new clothes, no gadgets, no random items. And to be honest, it wasn't as hard as I thought. In fact, it was kind of liberating. I realized I didn't need all the extra stuff I'd been buying. It saved me money, cleared up some clutter, and changed the way I think about spending. Heading into 2026. I'm definitely going to do another no-buy month. It's a great way to hit reset on your relationship with money and material things. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by all the purchases or the pressure to buy, give it a try. You might be surprised by how little you actually need to feel happy and content. Now let's talk about habit 11. Use Gmail filters for a clear inbox. If you're anything like me, your inbox can easily get out of control. In 2025, I was constantly overwhelmed by emails, promotions, newsletters, random notifications, everything just piling up and making it hard to find the important stuff. That's when I decided to get serious about cleaning it up. I started using Gmail filters, and honestly, it was a game changer. It's super simple to set up, and it really helps keep everything organized. I created filters to automatically sort incoming emails into different folders like work, newsletters, and important. This way I wasn't drowning in notifications and promotions every time I opened my inbox. It's all about being intentional with what gets your attention. For example, I set up filters to immediately send newsletters and marketing emails to a separate folder so I could check them later instead of having them clutter up my main inbox. This helped me stay focused on the emails that actually needed a response and didn't waste time on the rest. Now my inbox is way cleaner and more manageable. I don't feel the constant stress of sifting through hundreds of emails just to find what matters. And the best part is, it's not something you need to do every day. Once the filters are set up, it works automatically, saving me so much time and mental energy. Heading into 2026, I'm keeping this habit going. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by your inbox, I really recommend setting up filters. It's a simple hack that can make a huge difference in how you manage your email. And finally, let's talk about habit 12, create a budget. Now, I know budgeting can sound like a chore, but trust me, it was a total game changer for me in 2025. Before I started budgeting, I had no real idea where my money was going. I'd often check my bank account and wonder why I didn't have more saved, even though I thought I was careful with my spending. In 2025, I decided to get serious about my finances. I sat down and created a simple budget. It wasn't anything fancy, just a clear breakdown of my income and the main expenses like bills, groceries, and savings. I set specific limits for each category so I could keep track of my spending throughout the month. What I realized was that once I saw everything laid out, I felt so much more in control. I could clearly see where I was overspending and where I could cut back. The best part, I felt way less stressed about money because I knew exactly how much I could spend without feeling guilty or anxious. I also started using budgeting apps, which made it even easier to track things on the go. Now, every time I make a purchase, I know it fits within the limits I've set, and I'm not just randomly swiping my card. I'm definitely continuing this habit. Creating a budget has been one of the most empowering things I've done for my financial health. If you've never budgeted before, give it a try. It's one of those habits that not only keeps your finances in check, but also gives you peace of mind about your money. And that wraps up today's video on simplifying your life with these minimalist habits. I hope you found some inspiration to try out these habits in 2026, and that they help you create a more peaceful and intentional life. Before we go, I have something exciting lined up for the next video. I'll be sharing some simple yet surprisingly powerful habits that might seem boring at first, but can quietly transform the way you live. Trust me, they're not as dull as they sound. They have the potential to completely reinvent your daily routine. Stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.